The Michigan Wolverines are now 10-0 after beating Nebraska on Saturday. So if you had Michigan over 9.5 regular season wins like I did, then congratulations. It was kind of a weird game, wasn't it? It's like the least exciting conference win that Michigan has had in a while. Nebraska never really had much of a chance in this game. They came in overmatched, and their starting quarterback was down. And as you can see on this win probability chart, it never really dipped below like 95% win probability for Michigan. Nebraska got the ball first, and on their first drive, they did hit a 30-yard pass, but then the drive stalled out and ended in a punt from Michigan's 41-yard line. Michigan's first offensive possession set the tone for the game. 12 plays, nearly 7 minutes, lots of pounding the rock, as expected. The teams exchanged punts on their next 5 drives, and there was a lot of frustration amongst Michigan fans as the Wolverines really just couldn't get anything going in the passing game. JJ missed a couple of throws. The receivers really weren't doing anything to help him out either. Michigan finally got a little bit of traction through the air with a 28-yard completion to Colson Loveland because Luke Schoonmaker was out for the game. And then there was a little play action pass to Ronnie Bell for a 9-yard touchdown that put Michigan up 14-0. Nebraska came back down the field on a drive consisting of some quarterback runs by Chubba Purdy, but then he got hurt on an awkward slide and didn't return. Logan Smothers came in for the rest of the game, and Nebraska settled for a field goal on that drive. Michigan's next drive was a good one that ended with some awful clock management. It really felt like Michigan could have scored another touchdown there. Instead, they settled for a field goal, and so they were up 17-3 at the half. Like every other Michigan fan, I had zero concern that Michigan would actually hold on and win this game, but I did have a little bit of concern with the passing game because it just seemed really out of sync. But we know that Michigan's identity is running the football, and we also know that Michigan is a second-half team. Not good news for Nebraska, and the Wolverines did coast in the second half. Lots of carries for the other running backs to spell Blake Corum. Donovan Edwards only got 2 carries in this game, and at the time of this recording, there's no word as to why. Tavier Dunlap, CJ Stokes, Isaiah Gash, and Blake Corum all had carries on a drive that ended with a JJ McCarthy quarterback power for a touchdown. Michigan added another touchdown, which should have been Ronnie Bell's second touchdown of the game, but as he was reaching the ball for the goal line, he fumbled it into the end zone. Andrew Anthony recovered it at the very back of the end zone to get the touchdown. Add on one more Jake Moody field goal, and its final score, Michigan 34, Nebraska 3. Oh, and I got to mention the Mike Sanders still hit. RIP to that Nebraska player's crotch. Michigan moves to 10-0 for the first time since 2006. Domination on the field once again, and domination in the box score once again. First downs 27-8. Total yards 412 to 146. Passing yards 148 to 71. And as always, rushing yards dominated by the Wolverines 264 to 75. JJ McCarthy, who was at one time the most accurate passer in the FBS, went just 8 for 17 for 129 yards. Blake Corum once again carried the team on his back, 28 carries, 162 yards, and a touchdown. Ronnie Bell had a nice game, 4 receptions for 72 yards. Should have been 2 touchdowns for Ronnie. 7 Wolverines had rushing attempts, including JJ McCarthy, who had the touchdown. And defensively, Junior Colson led the way once again with 6 total tackles. Top takeaways from the game: Michigan wants to get more going down the field in the passing game. They took some shots, but there's just a lot of work to be done there. Takeaway number 2, Will Johnson is fantastic. This dude is already a stud at cornerback as a true freshman. Takeaway number 3, I'm convinced that Michigan can run the ball on anybody right now that's not named Georgia. And if they can get some rhythm going in the passing game next week against Illinois, I'll feel a lot more confident that they can beat teams like Ohio State and Georgia. Here's a stat for you. Michigan has outscored their last 5 opponents by 114 points in the second half. 117-3. Here's what Coach Harbaugh said when he was asked about passing the ball more. When you're getting 5 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry, it's tough to say, let's throw it. We're going to do what we think when we're in game is the best chance of winning the game. We've had these conversations before. There's 2 ways to go. You can go by air or you can go by the ground. Today was a day we chose to go more on the ground. George Patton would be proud. I'll take accountability that the past stats weren't higher than they were and be happy to be 10-0 and move on to Illinois. Ronnie Bell was also asked about the passing game, and he said, I think we're really close. Just more reps. We need more reps. We need more practice reps before practice, after practice. We just got to get on the same page. Today I felt like we were as close as we've ever been to getting those plays completed, so we just need more reps, man. And Blake Corum said, we practice it, we're hitting. I tell them, keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't stop throwing the deep ball just because JJ overthrew it or someone dropped it. Why stop? It's going to hit. So Michigan and Ohio State are the only unbeatens who have won every game by at least 1 touchdown. The same thing happened in 2006. Both Michigan and Ohio State were 11-0 and won every game by at least a touchdown. Up next for the Wolverines is Illinois at noon, a chance to go 11-0 and be undefeated going into the Ohio State game. If you're a Michigan football fan, please subscribe to the channel, and as always, go blue.